Hello, Diana.
Hello, Susanna.
Here we are again in Unit 3.
Welcome, everyone.
Welcome, everybody. We are so happy with how the course has been going so far. We are loving your comments, your insights, and the way you're participating with us in this process. So it's wonderful to be teaching for you.
It's inspiring, and you give us so many things to think about, and we really hope to include your questions and ideas as we go on through the course.
Indeed. So, as usual, there are many modes of engagement. You will be listening and watching videos. You will be practicing. But let's start with the videos. Diana, you have created a number of fantastic videos. Can you tell us a little bit about them?
Well, thank you, Susanna. The first one is the discussion of who is in charge of our healing. And if we determine that, then what are we in charge of? And we're going to begin with Unit 2, 3.2, with the discussion of our bodies. 3.3, we start to move into the brain. Now, we haven't quite moved into that esoteric question of what is the mind. We'll have to still get to that throughout the course. But at least we'll be seeing how the brain and the mind and the brain and the body work together. And then the last 3.4 is how do you take charge? If you are the one in charge, what are principles of leadership that you might be able to use? There are two other videos that I did not create that we feel are really helpful and would enhance your understanding. The first is a fantastic TED Talk that's one of the most watched TED Talks by a woman named Jill Bolte Taylor. She had an amazing experience. She had a stroke. And during the stroke, which took place in the left side of her brain, she had an experience of really nirvana in the right side of her brain. So we think that really should follow the video 3.3 about the brain. You'll enjoy hearing her insight into that.
And if I can just interject, I saw today that the video has been watched 34 million times.
34
which is incredible.
million times.
And she has, even though she's a scientist, she has an amazing theatrical flair.
Yeah.
She does act this out in a very, very dramatic way. So very engaging to watch.
Very engaging to watch. Then we have one other video to watch, which is not quite as engaging, but certainly is full of content. And this is by a woman named Margaret Kemeny from the University of California at San Francisco. And she gives us a really great history of psychoneuroimmunology. So that is the links between the brain and the nervous system and the immune system and how that works together. And I thought she could do a much better job of it than I could. So we encourage you to watch at least the first 30 minutes of that video. It'll give you a sense for how those work together.
And if you decide after watching for 30 minutes you want to watch the whole hour and a half and prepare for medical school, of course you're very welcome to do that as well. Now for the readings. This time in this unit there aren't that many readings because the unit is very heavy in terms of the videos. There are two readings, chapter 1 and 2 for Buddha's Brain, and that's very easy and good reading. And then there's an article also on the Buddha's Brain, neuroplasticity and meditation. In terms of the healthy body scan, which is something that has been studied and wrong. In terms of your healthy body practice, we would like for you to engage in something that is called a body scan, which is part of the mindfulness-based stress reduction research. And there is a podcast that we will be putting on under resources that you can practice. In addition to that,
we're going to start a series of videos, which I will be doing, that is on Qigong. Now, this is a thousands-of-year-old practice that originates from China. I came across it in my healing and was really blown away. At first, my mind was blown. I could not believe that this was true, right? I couldn't assimilate it into the worldview that I had grown up with. But as I've come to practice it, I find such amazing healing power in it that I encourage you to suspend your own disbelief for just a bit and see if you can try to experience the sensation of qi. Qi is the Chinese word for energy, and Gong is the study of it. So Qigong is the study of energy. And that is the root of acupuncture, acupressure, most of Chinese medicine. So when you want to try to explore those modalities, this is really where you begin. And this introduction, we're just going to try to activate the Qi, try to sense it in our bodies.
And the reason Diana is making these movements is because the first, and I have really appreciated Diana's teaching of Qigong to me and a group of others so far. And the first place where I felt the Qi was between my palms. So this is one of the early movements of activating the Qi between your hands. It's really a wonderful practice.
Yeah, and there are thousands of types of Qigong because it originated in China through the family lineages, of which, of course, there are thousands in China. This particular one is called Yiren Qigong, and it is the lineage of the Sun family, and Dr. Guanzhen's son here in Seattle is the lineage holder, but also is very intent and committed in opening this practice to the world. And his focus is on the wisdom internal to the body and how it can be used for healing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fascinating practice. And man, also on Diana's recommendation, I've spent a weekend taking his training and have really enjoyed that as well. So then, wrapping this up, there is a final video in which we describe what the assignments are, and then of course there is your weekly paper that we're looking forward to reading as well. So we're up and running. This is Unit 3. Welcome, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks a lot.